this carp of truth, and thus do we of wisdom and of reach by indirections find directions out. So, by my former lecture and advice, shall you. My son, you have me, have you not?
My lord, I have.
God by ye, fare you well.
Good, my lord.
Observe his inclinations for yourself.
I shall, my lord.
Let him try his music.
Well, my lord.
Farewell.
My lady.
How now, Ophelia? What's the matter?
My lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet with his doublet all unbraced, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purport, as if he had been loosed out of hell. To speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love.
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then he goes to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. And long stayed he so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their helps, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love. What? Have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord. But as you did command, I did repel his letters and deny his access to me.
That hath made him mad. Come, go we before the king. Come, Ophelia.
Our Dr. Dewarest, a little earlier officers.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? So call it, since nor the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was. I entreat you both that being of so young days brought up with him, and since so neighbor to his youth and behavior, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that opened lies within our remedy.
Good gentleman, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am to men there are not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to expend your time with us a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties might by the sovereign power that you have of us put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son.
Heaven make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye, amen.
The ambassador from Norway, my good lord, is joyfully returned.
Thou still hast been the father of good news.
Have I, my lord? Assure you, my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think for I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
Give first admittance to the ambassador. My news shall be the fruit to that great feast.
Thyself do grace to him and bring him in. He tells me, my dear Gertrude, he hath found the head and source of all your son's distemper.
I doubt it is no other but the main. His father's death and our hasty marriage.
Well, we shall sift him. Welcome, my good friend. Say, Voldemar, what from our brother Norway?
Most fair return of greetings and desires. Upon our first, he sent out to suppress his nephew's armies. Sends out arrest on Fortinbras, which he in brief obeys, receives rebuke from Norway, and in fine, makes vow before his uncle nevermore to give the assay of arms against your majesty. Whereon old Norway, overcome with joy, gives him 3,000 crowns in annual fee and his commission to employ those soldiers, so levied as before, against Poland. With an entreaty, herein further shown that it might please you to give quiet pass through your dominions for this enterprise, on such regards of safety and allowance as therein are set down.
It likes us well. And at our more considered time, we'll read, answer, and think upon this business. Meantime, we thank you for your well-took labor. Go to your rest. At night, we'll feast together. Most welcome home.
This business is well ended. My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what beauty is, why day is day, night night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. And therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness what is't, but be nothing else but mad. But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true, foolish figure. But farewell it, for I will use no art. Mad let us grant him then. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus. Append. I have a daughter, have while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. It's an ill phrase, it's a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase, but you shall hear. Thus, in her excellent chaste bosom, these, etc.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while, I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt thou the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best, oh, most best, believe it, adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter shown me, and more above hath his solicitings, all given to mine ear.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so. But what might you think? If I had looked upon this love with idle sight, what might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star, this must not be. And then I prescripts gave her, that she should lock herself from his resort. And he, repelled, fell into a sadness, thence into a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by this declension, into the madness wherein now he raves and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be, very like.
Hath there been such a time, I'd fain know that I have positively said 'tis so, when it proved otherwise.
Not that I know.
Take this from this. if this be otherwise.
How may we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
Oh, so he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras, then. Mark the encounter. If he love her not, and be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for estate, but keep afar man Carters.
We will try it.
Look where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I do beseech you both, away. I'll board him presently. Give me leave.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them, to die. To sleep no more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep. To sleep, perchance to dream, aye. There's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud men's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of